Hello!
We're here!
Oh, making sure that hellscape ain't happening.
Oh, no
Great.
hellscape,
Good.
please.
No
Oh, God.
hellscape.
I have my finger over the microphone.
Great. Good. Hello, everybody. My name is Shut Up Kristen.
And my name is Tomcat.
And together we make Catt and Kristen. Woo, 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 woo.
A weekly, sort of, show where we discuss all things cosplay related.
Yes, we're going to address just immediately the elephant in the room of, we took last week off.
How dare you? I'm not big enough to be an elephant.
Ma'am, you added yourself. I did not add anybody. I didn't add anybody but the delicate, beautiful, baby, angle elephant.
Thanks.
Not you.
I'll take that as the compliment I know it was meant to be.
I love you, Thanos. What a time.
Levi, you should not quit cosplay. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
As I start sipping my Thanos cup.
It's true. No spoilers here. That's a perfect way to segue into a quick little thing. So number one, a lot of people were at the Deadpool premiere last night. I'm really happy for all of you. It looks like people had an amazing time. Do not post any Deadpool spoilers. I don't want even Deadpool spoiler jokes in these comments, ma'ams and sirs, and whatever you identify as. It doesn't matter.
It is important to remember that regardless of how many times you've seen the movie, still there are people out there that haven't.
It's true.
And while some people love spoilers, a great many of them don't.
Do not, in fact.
Surprise!
Yes, indeed. So no Infinity War spoilers, no Deadpool spoilers, none of that stuff in the comments. It's not relevant to what we're talking about anyway. So don't do it. It's just something that's been super annoying recently, especially with Infinity War.
Don't make me snap my finger.
It was so annoying. And people being like, well, it's been a week. Why haven't you seen it? Because I work a full-time 2 jobs. Like, can we...
Now that we've discussed spoilers, let's also talk about this other elephant in the room.
Yeah, where we've been.
Where we've been hiding.
Totally, yeah.
And this ties into the topic of conversation for tonight.
Yeah.
We do have very, very exhausting jobs.
Yeah.
And we, unfortunately, cannot dedicate all of our time to this show.
Yet.
Share
with your friends.
Please continue to share the video.
With your friends.
The important thing to remember is that we are creatures of capitalism.
Yep.
And we will go where the money goes.
Yep.
Until Catt and Kristen becomes sponsored.
Yep.
Until Tomcat becomes LLC. Until Shut Up Kristen becomes incorporated.
Yep.
Or until such a time has passed when we feel comfortable enough dedicating all of our time to this podcast, which we have taken a considerable amount of time to do.
Totally. We both take this very seriously,
and
but
we're cultivating as best we can.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the jobs that we have dictate us to focus more on them.
Totally.
Than on cosplay and whatnot. Which brings us to our topic of conversation today.
Yeah.
Should a person quit cosplay, and how high on the list of priorities should cosplay be to a person that has, be it a full-time job or other responsibilities that require them to focus more heavily on them other than going to conventions in costume?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that we've also been seeing pop up quite a bit. And I think
agreed.
I think that there are a couple reasons why you see people making statuses and asking the question of like, should I quit cosplay? I'm getting fed up with cosplay. And I think that it comes from a couple different things. One of them being maybe not prioritizing cosplay correctly, maybe burning themselves out and focusing too much on it when it shouldn't be as high a priority as it is. Of course, if you're somebody that your business life coincides with your cosplay life, then that is a different situation. But I see a lot of people getting burnt out.
If cosplay is your job, you have a responsibility to act as such.
Totally.
If cosplay is merely your hobby, then you run the risk of burning yourself out without much income being brought to the table.
Yeah.
Unless you are a multi-billionaire, in which case you can afford to go to all of these conventions willy-nilly.
Truly.
And Kristen and I have been working diligently to bring you quality product as often as possible.
Yep.
And it's a challenge when it's not providing, when the only thing it's providing is follower count and number count, which is amazing.
Yeah, totally.
And we continue to enjoy the likes and the comments, and we love looking to the comments. We love talking to you guys. We love interacting with you guys.
We love interacting with one another.
We love interacting with one another.
Yeah.
There will come a time when we will start to have guests on the show, and we'll start to
treat this more like a business.
But as of right now, it's still in the primordial stages, and the jobs that we have presently dictate how we run our lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
This coincides, and this is a parallel to a lot of people within the cosplay community that feel that because cosplay isn't giving them the money that they feel they deserve, they have to backpedal on cosplay, which becomes very problematic for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think it also stems in, I think, when people also end up burning themselves out from cosplay, I think that there also is inherently a you've lost sight of why you're doing it sort of deal in some way. Because at that point, if you are doing it as a business thing, then you should be treating it like a business and creating hours for yourself, creating a schedule for yourself, that sort of stuff. And if you're doing it as a hobby, then why are you burning yourself out? Like, is it that you love making costumes every moment of every day? Because,
by the way, we're just going to preface this by saying we're
not quitting cosplay.
We are not quitting cosplay.
No, we're not quitting cosplay.
I mean,
we should say that.
We should definitely preface this by saying we're not quitting cosplay. We love the community. We love what we do.
Yeah.
It's just we haven't gotten to the same level as other cosplayers have, where they can monetize their gains.
Yeah.
We'll get there eventually. It's just like everything; it takes time. And like other cosplayers out there, it takes diligence and it takes patience.
Yeah.
Some of you guys don't have patience.
No.
You don't, and you think you think everything is owed to you, and that's just not how it works.
It's just not. It's not. And there obviously is a huge luck component as well to making it as a cosplayer. I think that we don't focus on that enough. You can certainly put a lot of hard work into your cosplays and into your social media and all that sort of stuff, but there is a luck element as well, and getting noticed by the right people and getting shared by the right people and all that sort of stuff. There 100% is undeniably an aspect of that. But there are a lot of people that think that all this is owed to them, and then I see a lot of statuses of people being like, should I just quit cosplay because I'm not excelling and I'm retiring. Yeah, you see the retiring a lot. And I think that, again, revisiting why you do cosplay, do you do it to try and make money or to gain more followers, or do you do it because you enjoy cosplaying, costume making, going to conventions, etc.?
It brings us back to the one question that a lot of people often have to ask themselves: why did I get involved in this in the first place?
We talk about this so often. With it really plays into so much.
It's become commonplace. It's become a commonplace topic of discussion where we have to ask ourselves why we got involved in cosplay in the first place.
Because if you're getting burnt out, then you have to figure out what that problem is, and is it worth it to you?
We personally know tons of cosplayers that have just taken a back seat to their regular lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And some people are healthier for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of times, another issue that we've seen a lot of people have is the community. The community does have a tendency to burn a person out.
Yes.
There often comes a time when, be it some drama, be it some form of toxicity within the community, which we've discussed and we will continue to discuss, where it just becomes problematic to a person, and it's like, fuck it, I'm tired, I'm leaving. I'm going to take as much time as I need. Mental health, super important.
So much more important than cosplay, guys. So much more important than cosplay. And I think that this is it's super interesting because we were just having an interesting discussion, you and I, about personal responsibility and stuff. When it comes to cosplay and the community and the toxicity or whatever you're feeling, if you're feeling burnt out by the cosplay community, reflect on who you're surrounding yourself with. I think that that's another thing of taking responsibility also of okay, am I surrounding myself with people that are making me feel positive?
Am I surrounding myself with the right
people? We've talked about this before of so much of what you do is who you surround yourself with. And if you find that you are constantly in dramatic situations and you're constantly having issues with people, then you have to find new people.
That's a sign.
That's a sign. You got to find new people, and there's no reason that you can't politely back out and find better people to surround yourselves with, because I think in any community there is toxicity.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we focus a lot in the community, in the cosplay community, of like these toxic people, these toxic whatever. If there comes a point where if you continue to be friends with those people,
how much more abuse are you willing to take?
yeah, and if you are willing to continue to be friends with these people and put up with this toxicity, then it comes to a point where I don't really want to hear about it, to be honest.
It gets to a point where you just get tired.
Yeah, absolutely. And
it reaches a point where you're just exhausted, and it's like, you don't want to say, I'm leaving cosplay.
Yeah.
You basically want to say, I'm not going to be going to as many conventions as I have, or I'm going to take a year off. It's the same thing as college. It's just, actually, it's a lot like college.
It is, yeah. It's just so interesting because I see a lot of statuses that say, like, the community has changed. The community has changed sort of deal. And, like, what's weird for me personally is that, to me, the community doesn't feel like it's changed that much, and I think that has to do. I think that has to do with who I've surrounded myself with.
I will agree to disagree on that.
Really,
I will agree to disagree.
Interesting.
On that one. I started cosplaying in 2011, 2012.
Yeah, same.
When at that point it was more fan focused, and it was more we're here to have a good time and surround ourselves with like-minded individuals.
Okay, yes.
Nowadays, it's like, it's become a business, and it's become very cutthroat and very, very, I'm trying to think of the word backstabbing. I'm trying to think of a term that's similar to that. But
I understand that.
It's become very cutthroat, and a lot of people are... There was one friend of mine, she reaches out to me and she goes, oh, I have somebody that's really, really, really into getting into cosplay, but they're really, really nervous about it. And I'm like, well, why are they nervous about it? And they go, well, it's just become so much.
Right.
And I'm like, have them reach out to us. We will talk to them.
Yeah.
A lot of the problem is I will continue to use the term cutthroat, where my God, I keep on saying it's become. Cosplay has gone from being about fun to being about what looks amazing.
I can agree with you on that level, but I think, again, for me, it doesn't feel like the shift has been that dramatic, because any of the friends, and I have had a couple of friends where I've definitely noticed that, like, their goals have changed and their priorities have changed. And in those situations, I've immediately recognized, okay, gonna back off of gonna hit the brakes a little bit on that one and politely kind of step away, back off a little bit. And so to me, it really has not like that. Well, I completely understand what you mean, because that is 100% a change that has happened. I think
there's been a shift.
I think you can control. I think that that again, to a degree, you can control the community that you're in and the bubble the sub-community that you're in within that community, you know? Like we almost talked about cliques. You can kind of control the quote-unquote clique that you are
a part
in.
Of.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Because it's almost like if I'm not seeing it, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, totally.
Because you're not... and I mean... I'm always on Facebook. It's literally like my phone is the window to the mirror to the outside world, a la Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
I do constantly see the statuses.
Oh, without a doubt.
I see people getting shit talked about them. I see people that have to back away from their business because someone is talking shit about them.
Yeah.
It's just become that, I don't want to say saturated, but that way of thinking where it's like, if you're not making money, or if you're not wearing these high-end pieces, or if you're not hand making or hand studying your pieces, you're not a cosplayer.
There's a lot of shit talk.
It's become that way, and it's definitely cost the community a lot of new blood.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, we talk about all the time how you'll see people that are scared to join the community because the bar has been raised so dramatically,
unbelievably,
and so people are like, where do I even start?
You start at the very beginning. A very good place to start, I hear.
I hear that every once in a while. Let's look at some comments.
I was about to say the same thing.
Daisha says, I'm feeling this topic so much. I've taken a cosplay break because I'm trying to save money for future life plans and because I just needed some TLC for myself. And like, let me just say too, there is nothing wrong with taking a break, a cosplay
Absolutely
break.
not.
I think
Absolutely not.
I think it was last year that the only 2 cons I went to were KatsuCon
And
New York Comic Con. Oh, I went to Anime Next too, but like it was like KatsuCon, Anime Next, and then
and
months,
there's like months a month
in
long
between.
Break. The last convention I went to was, oh god, what was the last?
Mine was KatsuCon.
Yeah, the last convention I went to was KatsuCon. The last cosplay event I went to was Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, yes, and so like. There's nothing wrong with taking a break. It doesn't make you any less of a cosplayer. It doesn't make you any less talented or less whatever. In fact, it means that you recognize when it's time to take a step back so you can maintain it being fun for you.
Yes, agreed.
And that's actually a really like noble and notable thing.
Eric said this topic is me right now. Get out me brain.
I will never get out of your brain, Eric.
Ever. She
Ever.
won't.
I won't. I just won't.
She's literally the tumor that...
I will not.
She is that tumor.
Buy a sticker.
Buy a sticker.
I'm just here as I'm just a part of this podcast to be Eric's like hype woman. That's it. That's all. Okay, let's see what Jason has to say. I think you're both right. I mean, it can be extremely cutthroat and filled with drama. However, if you're regularly calling those who cause drama from you out from your circle, it can be a community of queen adjusting each other's crowns rather than tearing each other down. That's actually one of my favorite phrases now is that real queens fix each other's crowns. I have a mug that says that.
I've never heard that expression.
It's my favorite thing.
A queen never heard that expression
It's my
before.
favorite. I bought like a mug for myself and for my sister for Christmas it's like that say real queens fix each other's crowns, and I love that. I love that so much.
It's a good quote.
Yeah.
It's a very good quote.
Yeah. It's just like a thing we all have to keep in our minds.
Walter says, I enjoy, for many reasons, making cosplay photos, but most importantly, friends. I've made so many friends through cosplay and blah, blah, blah. And I've made so many friends through cosplay who I was hitting the damn button. Leave me the frig alone.
I understand, but they can't see that.
I know they can't. Through cosplay who have made me feel more comfortable in my own skin. I love my non-cosplay friends, but at the same time, they don't get my geeky side. They love me for it, but they don't understand it. And that's why we continue to go to conventions on the whole.
Totally, exactly.
It's because of the like-minded individuals that we surround ourselves with.
And because we both have a clear vision of why we still cosplay.
Exactly.
Which, exactly what Walter just said. He has a very clear vision of why he still cosplays. It's a lot of the community is what you make of it. There's always going to be stuff that's out of your control. And of course, if someone's shit talking or someone's whatever.
Unless you are directly involved in the drama, try to veer around it. Unless you're me, in which case you get right in the thick of it.
Yeah, this is where we are drastically different.
I am going to preface this by saying, because there are some people out there that feel I always get involved in drama.
Right.
I try to be the peacemaker. I will always try to be the mother figure, basically saying, hey, why are we having this argument? Why are we discussing this?
Right.
What's going on? And I will try to be the peacemaker. I will try to be the mediator. Sometimes, however, I get burnt because of it.
Yeah.
And
it's taking on a lot.
It is taking on a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. The stories these lips could tell. It becomes quite cumbersome. Yeah. It becomes quite cumbersome to constantly be the mom, but it's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it.
And there's a very big difference between that and shit talking. Shit talking doesn't get anything done.
Exactly.
Shit talking gets nothing done. It's just like not a fun time. Let's see.
Jess said, "Why are you guys so cute? I love you both."
What up, girl? Much love. Sending much love.
Love you, baby. Matthew Rumpf.
Hello, Matthew.
Who is new.
Oh.
Hey, guys. New to your show. Loving it. I recently got into cosplay because of my kids, and it's all about the fun. I made some great friends through this, and don't worry about the critics.
See? Another person that knows exactly why they're doing what they're doing.
Don't sweat the small stuff and have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like it's so much of what you make of it, and... if you're feeling burnt out, again, take a break. Take a break. There's no reason why you have to make sweeping, I'm retiring from cosplay, I'm quitting. Today's the day I hang up my various costumes and I go away. There's no reason why you can't
That is a topic of conversation. Probably the next time we're together is going to be packing up cosplays and figuring out where the frick to put them.
Oh my God.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
Listen, I'm calling her out right now. If we could get Sharon Rose cosplay... That girl, I made a status once about how do you store your cosplays. She sent me a saga, and it was a life-changing, comment. Oh my gosh, if we could get her on an episode if we could get her on 12 episodes, one about armor making, one about her general life, another about cosplay storage. Oh my gosh.
That's good. That'll be a fun topic of conversation, let me tell you.
Yeah.
But back to the comments. Allie says, I love conventions because apparently going to work as Jareth is considered unprofessional. I mean, I went to work as Catwoman and they wrote me up for it.
Woo!
Talk about unprofessional. I should have brought the whip with me.
Amazing. I don't think I've ever gotten written up because of cosplay.
Well, aren't you the lucky one? Eric says, Tom gets into the drama to FIX things, and we love him for it.
Yes, exactly. Because, again, there is, such a different, there's such a difference between shit-talking and mediating.
You can literally call me, Catt and Kristen, the welcoming committee.
Yeah, yes,
because
absolutely.
we shine a very bright spotlight on a lot of the good things in this community, but we also do not ignore.
We're not shying away from the bad stuff.
We're not shying away from the bad stuff. We constantly talk about it. Mm-hmm. But again, it's all a question of what is important to you. Yeah. If you go to a convention to have a good time, keep going to conventions to have a good time. Yeah. If you go to conventions to make money, keep going to conventions to make money. If you're going to a convention to see what drama lies about, you're part of the problem.
Yeah. And I think, literally us talking about this and, again, the kind of the way that you said our welcome committee, part of the reason why we talk about this is because this is us taking control of the things that we don't like in the community and the things that we want to see less of.
Sharon has said that constantly about the two of us.
Yeah, this is how you get stuff done. We never come on here to shit talk about people. We never come on here to, specifically out people or do anything.
We don't name drop except for our featured cosplayers.
And we've never done an episode where it's been directly because this person did this and we're now going to out them for this. That's never our intention because that doesn't get anything done.
But this is why we're asking the question, should a person quit cosplay because of the community? At the end of the day, if you're going to quit the cosplay scene because of the community, we get it.
Yeah.
We get it.
You got to do what's right for you.
If it helps your mental health.
Yes.
And if it helps you financially, do it.
Yeah. Yep. Life comes first. Even if cosplay is your job, life should come first.
Oh, absolutely.
If you find that you've picked this as a job and it is no longer making you happy, switch jobs.
Remember to take time for yourself.
Yeah.
We've said that a number of times in a number of different episodes. It's just this time we're putting a title to it.
Yeah. Can I also, Jason says this, the people who post the I'm quitting cosplay for good now status updates, it needs to stop. I don't care how you mean it, but it comes across as baiting people to beg you to stay. And I can't help but agree on some level that a lot of the time it seems like they are people that are waiting for people to be
seeking out attention, and we see you.
Yeah, it's just,
Daisha says, what do you say to people who follow your page and get mad when you don't update often? I had it happen a couple of times, but at the end of the day, I do this for me and no one else. Exactly
what you just said.
That's basically it. Unless they are keeping your lights on and keeping your phone activated and keeping a roof over your head, you don't know them shit.
Nope. I just got the other day one of those messages where somebody messaged me and they were upset that I had responded to them on Instagram 2 weeks ago or so. And then they had sent me another message. I hadn't seen it, and they got upset that I hadn't responded again. And I was like, you're asking me for a favor, and we don't know one another, and I have been busy. I didn't have the chance to respond to this person. They wanted me to review something, and I was like,
it's hard. It's very hard being a public figure and having a very active life outside of cosplay.
Yep.
Because when you have fans and your fans are constantly seeing your work, it becomes rudimentary to constantly see your work. And it becomes just this all-encompassing thing where it's like, oh, well, where have they been? Have they lost their will to live? They're not cosplaying anymore. What's happening? Oh my God. Chill.
Yep, totally.
You're up here. You're up here.
You're up here. We need you at a 10. We need you at a 2.
We need you at least at a 1.5.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I love Tatiana. Thank you.
Thank you.
Walter says cosplay is my greatest passion, even over wrestling, which I bring cosplay into. I adored your Bombshell Superman.
Yeah.
Continue to bring that places. If you do, I will happily get into Bombshell Catwoman and lovingly wrap you with my bullwhip.
I will get into Bombshell Wonder Woman and I will stand to the side and wave.
That's right, you have Bombshell.
I do have Bombshell Wonder Woman.
Well, that's a shoot for the future. Bombshells, hit us up.
Walter, get ready. We're coming for you, Walter.
Wait, I want to continue reading his. I love it.
Sorry, I was just looking.
I love it. My wallet doesn't, but I do. Yes, cosplay can become quite expensive, and that's another reason why a lot of people leave cosplay is because of finances.
Yes, and a lot of that again comes from like figure out what works for you. Figure out what works for you. If you need to plan a cosplay a couple months ahead so that you can afford said cosplay, know that that's your situation.
Don't be like Tom.
Don't be like Tom.
Don't be like Tom. I have 3 to 4 cosplays that I'm working on, and I have no idea what conventions I'm wearing them to.
But to be honest, that's not bad though, because at the very least, like, it's not like you're rushing towards this end date. If you tomorrow didn't have enough money to buy more sequins, like, you don't have you're not running towards this convention in 2 weekends that like now you need to spend money you don't even have.
I don't have to do that. No, it's true. Yeah. It's very true.
Yep.
Where am I? That's why I've been going to cons just for one day to save some money. Also, Jasmine Ott says you sound like Emma Stone.
Oh, thanks.
I think you sound like Emma Stone.
I think it's me, probably.
I've
gotten that before, and I take that as a full compliment.
We won't discuss who I sound like.
I've cosplayed Olive from Easy A before, so yeah.
That's precious.
I used to be able to quote it like line for line. I highly identify with Olive from Easy A. I feel like we are very... I feel a kinship with Emma Stone.
Kindred spirits?
Yeah, I feel a very... Well, especially when she did the lip sync battle of all I do is win, 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 no matter what. I'm a very good lip syncer, and I... Coming for you, except not actually, just to be your best friend.
I'm not going to quote RuPaul. Even though it is time to lip sync for your life.
For your life.
I did it anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Where am I?
Hooray for
Hollywood.
Oh, wait. Chrissy Lynn said something.
Yes. Not cosplay. Thank you. That was what I was looking for. Not cosplay related, but convo related. I support an artist on Patreon, and she hadn't updated a specific comic in a while. I just lost my train of thought.
Someone actually
commented and demanded she updated because she doesn't pay $2 a month for nothing, and art should be free. I beg your pardon? Mind you, the Patreon artist is very prompt about sending out rewards. This comic was an extra perk, not mandatory.
Yeah.
What leads a person to feel so entitled that they can reach out to a cosplayer? And this happens a lot with cosplay models.
Oh, totally. All
happens
the time.
A lot with cosplay models who do loot specials.
Yep.
And it's just like, oh, well, we want more.
Yeah, no.
Pump the brakes.
Totally. People have lives to live.
You're not owed anything.
No.
And it's
you are owed what you are paying for.
Thank you.
You're owed what you are paying for. But anything that they decide to give you extra is extra.
See that? Even Mother Nature agrees if you guys can hear the thunder.
And, like, even kind of speaking to that also from, like, the opposite side of, like, I'm a person that has a Patreon, and this is actually the first month ever in, like, 3 years that I took this month off from Patreon. I did, like, a vacation month on Patreon because last month, and honestly the month before, I got behind on perks, and I was like, that's not fair to anybody. I need to take a month and get caught up.
To quote Canvas Cosplay in his first book, Patreon, which is Cosplay and PR Management
Yes.
101. Strongly recommended. It is on Amazon. Thank you. Yes. Please, if you want to look at cosplay
really
as
good
a
book.
business, check it out.
Yep, totally.
He does say Patreons are a job.
Oh, we've talked about this before, but guys, Patreon is such a job. Such a job. Patreon takes up, the reason why I also took this month off is it's a busy work month for me. My sister just graduated, yada, yada. And the amount of hours that I put into Skype calls, live streams, physical perks,
It becomes a lot.
It becomes a ton.
A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So it's you got to take on what you can take on. And it's very different if a person is behind on your perks and being like, hey, can you give me an update on this, than screaming at them about something that they're not even owed.
Mm-hmm.
So dumb. Let's see.
Why are we not discussing you sounding like B. Arthur, Tom?
We're not discussing it.
No joke. I had met with two directors that I'll be working with in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that I told them was, I am always B. Arthur.
Yeah.
If you could just envision Dorothy from the Golden Girls,
Yep.
you will see me, you will hear it, and it'll just click.
happen. Yep.
And I noticed, as I was speaking, my voice got progressively more and
B.
more B.
Yep.
So, that's...
Woo!
Thank you for being a friend.
Thank you for being a friend.
A friend!
A friend. That was like my Celine Dion impression of it.
Can we just talk about the song that she did for
Deadpool 2? Yeah.
I want to recreate that as B. Arthur so badly.
Amazing. Yep,
I do.
Very,
I have
good.
all the lyrics written out. It's just now I'm trying to find the right keys to sing in.
Perfect. Amazing.
Back to the comment.
Oh, the book that we held up, just to say it one more time.
Oh, yes.
Is Cosplay Marketing and PR 101 by Philip Odengo.
Otherwise known as Canvas Cosplay.
Yes, you can find it on Amazon. It's a little workbook. It's got a whole bunch of discussions. You can write in there. You can learn a whole bunch of stuff about cosplay marketing. We have been using this together, and it really is like
It's very helpful.
a very helpful and cool thing. So yeah, it's part of his cosplay professional development series.
I actually just bought his most recent book, which is Behind Me. Then we'll leave it.
It's called Behind Me.
It's called Behind Me.
Leave them in the dust.
It's called Cosplay Guesting Secrets Revealed, or something of equal or better value.
Yeah.
Again, very, very good book to read if this is the road you want to lead down. If this is the road you want to go down for turning your cosplay into a business.
Woo! Dakota says, how do you feel about lewd cosplay? I love going to anime conventions, but I feel like everyone wants to be a lewd cosplayer now because of the hype and attention they get. We've done a whole episode on cosplay models and all that other stuff. Tom and I do not mind lewd cosplay.
We
don't mind it as long as it's at the right conventions. If it's a family-friendly convention, maybe keep it at home. I think that there are a lot of other reasons why people do lewd cosplay than just for like attention or hype.
Just to go off topic for a little bit.
Yep.
The big problem that I've seen is that comic artists draw female characters with ridiculously large breasts and ridiculously tiny waists and big behinds.
Yeah, totally.
And if a person has that body type and they want to imbue that body type, then no one should really complain that a person looks that way.
Yeah.
For instance, Jim Balent, very famous comic artist, did the Catwoman run from I think 92 to 2001 or something along those lines. And she was very busty with a tiny waist and a big butt.
Yep.
So when I see cosplayers doing that, I'm like, yes, rock it. But then when I see people complaining like, oh, well, that's too seductive, that's too much. Who are you blaming? Are you blaming the person that looks like that? Or are you blaming the artist who draws them like that?
And I also like when I see cosplayers, to be honest, these days when I see lewd cosplayers, quote unquote, at conventions, on Instagram, whatever, to be honest, I'm like, go you. You must be pretty comfortable in your body and like pretty outright to do that sort of thing. And I think that as long as it's in the quote unquote appropriate situation, it doesn't really bother me. It doesn't affect my cosplay.
We've discussed this in previous podcasts as well, but Katsucon, great.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Live your dreams.
Yeah.
We've seen Slave Leia Disney princesses.
Yep.
We've seen armored evolutions.
Yep.
We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of flesh at these conventions.
Totally.
Hotel cons, party cons, great.
Yeah.
Conventions that have a more child-friendly atmosphere,
maybe choose something else.
Probably not the best place to do it. That would be the only thing that I would suggest. Also, for cosplay modeling, the internet is open source to a lot of kids.
Yep.
I mean, that's at your own risk.
Yep. And also, I mean, to be fair, part of me, to be honest, when I think about that sort of stuff, is that's also a parent's responsibility to make sure that they know what their kids are looking at.
Because here's the thing. A cosplayer is not a babysitter.
No, not at all.
A cosplayer is there to do...
Totally.
They're paid for, basically.
Totally. And I think that the big thing, too, is that, like, lewd cosplays don't take anything away from my cosplay. Just because a lewd cosplayer is getting a lot of attention doesn't mean that attention is attention that I would be getting. And I think that that's a thing that, like...
I mean, speak for yourself. My legs are on public display all the time.
Mine too. I can't hide them. No clothes are meant for my body type. My body, I got my short dino torso and arms, and then these legs. That's it.
Oh my heavens.
But I see, and what's interesting, and I want to get to Lewis's comment after this, but Jason says, "Oh God, no, Kristen. I do my poison ivy when I feel the worst about my body because it helps me feel better about myself. That's also why I did my Ray Palmer Indigo Lantern. I hate my body, but cosplay makes me feel better. And that's what I'm saying is that, like, it can be so liberating for some people. And when I see people walking around in these cosplays rocking it, I think to myself, that's a confident person, and that's a person that's comfortable in their body. And whether that is your experience or not, it's not my place to take that away from somebody else. Like, it's not my body. It's not my choice. That's
one of the reasons why I do Harem Genie. I can't do it anymore because I developed a nasty scar when I tried to catch a steamer with my elbow.
Yep. No, not great. Not great. Nope.
It's about yay big.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I need to figure out how to get rid of scarring.
Yeah, there are a couple different, like, lotions
aloe
and
vera,
stuff. Yeah,
aloe vera's
yeah.
like been my go-to. But here nor there.
Nor anywhere. Lewis says, sometimes I feel drama is often subjective and the title drama applied to anything that even so much as causes waves to them specifically. Like, you have people who think racism is drama and not a topic that we should always tackle head on. Yes. And I think drama also...
That is a loaded gun right there, sir.
I think what I will say is that the term drama, a lot of the time, is also sometimes code for passive aggression. I think it's sometimes code for I don't want to deal with it.
Yep.
And that's... I agree with you. I think a lot of people label...
they label drama incorrectly.
Yes, they label drama incorrectly. Yeah. And there's so many other ways that you can... just deal with something head first.
Racism, not something you handle head on.
Oh no, racism. I mean,
that is a topic.
Yeah, that's a very different topic. I'm talking about cosplay drama, but yeah, racism is a whole.
That's a whole other animal.
And quite frankly, it's not something that I can relate to.
We've said in previous episodes that we're porridge.
We're whiter than white.
We are
have been nicknamed Ghost. Have been nicknamed Ghost before, and so it's not my place to speak on it. Only to be an ally against racism. And it certainly is not drama. It is a real issue.
Agreed.
A very real issue.
Quite accurate, in fact.
A very real issue. Let's see.
It's Brian.
Yes.
I've thought about quitting cosplay myself, actually, for a second. It seemed like it became something different than what I started enjoying it for. Mm-hmm. It seemed like it became a platform for attention, but I love combining my photography with my cosplay too much. And if that's what keeps you going, keep at it.
And the fact that you can recognize that it
that
had
is
changed.
Super important.
That's so important. Because, like, again, you're not necessarily blaming it on something else, like, or making a sweeping generalization. It has changed for you.
Yep.
And therefore, you have to refine what is keeping you cosplaying or what you enjoy about it. And so that's super important, and you should be very proud that you're that self-reflective, because I think that's what a lot of people struggle with.
Bully to that comment.
Yeah.
Bully to that comment.
Truly.
That was brilliant for you. Keep at it.
Bully! Brilliant! Bravo! Magnificent!
Next time you see Tomcat, he's going to be in a B. Arthur Teddy Roosevelt cosplay.
You know what you sound like? You sound like you're the action figure version of Tomcat. Like, I'm hitting your hand and you're like magnificent, amazing, bully for you.
There's a string in the bag that she pulls every so often.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Oh my goodness. Congratulations. Keep at it, darling.
Keep at it, darling. Oh no, what are you doing? You know there is a God.
Kristen, there is a God. And he's very capable of getting you. That's, we recorded an episode 2 weeks ago about photography. That one scene still kills me.
I like that you refer to it as a scene.
No, that's what it was.
That's it. We're just two characters. That's it.
That's all Catt and Kristen is. It's two characters talking about being involved in the playpen.
Indeed. Yeah, and a lot of people are just saying to ditto pretty much to Jason's comment. Cosplay, Christy Lynn says, cosplay makes me feel more comfortable with my body and makes me feel freaking awesome about myself.
That's why a lot of people aren't quitting cosplay. Yes. It's because it's what they enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And you should, We
just got weathered. Eric, my love for you knows no bounds. I miss you so much.
I feel added right now.
We just were both He said weather to us.
He said weather to us, didn't he?
Oh my Lord.
That's what's happening.
This is a great day.
Well.
Wow.
Weather.
I'm sweating. I'm so taken aback. Wonderful. Weather?
Snatched.
I have nothing to throw. I'm not going to throw my glasses, and I ain't wearing anything under this.
Well, there it all goes.
I'm wearing a bra, but it doesn't matter. Okay. What else? What time are we at also?
He said
44.
weather.
He did.
I know. Wow.
I know.
Wow. The long reach of our tentacles, man.
That's it.
Joshua says, hands on your head. Joshua says hands on your head.
I don't get it. What are you saying?
Simon says.
Simon says. Oh, yeah. I got you. Okay. All right.
The one pun.
Yeah,
I'll let you have it.
Right.
I'll let you have it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay,
Lewis says, to be honest, racism kind of rolls into cosplay plenty of times, which we have talked about for the record.
Blackface was definitely a topic of conversation.
We want to talk about it a lot more with more reliable
sources,
with different narrators who have different points of view and more to say on the topic than us two very white people. But kind of rolls into cosplay plenty of times. That is that, and I'm not putting the screws to either of you about it, and dismissed as not relevant. It's so relevant.
It is relevant.
We've talked about it a bunch. It's very relevant. But conversations for another time and 10 shots deep. I love cosplay, though. I dislike aspects of cosplay, and a lot of those aspects often come from butting heads with people who want to define costume play into a stricter term that often only feels relevant to them. Yes.
Which ties into the community at large.
Completely.
There are people out there that feel that if you buy a costume, it's not cosplay.
Yeah.
There are people out there that feel if you haven't hand-stitched every ounce of your costume, or if you haven't hand-painted all of your armor, or made your own cowls, you're not a cosplayer.
Totally. And
that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
That's why so many people are just afraid to get involved. It's because it's become so elitist.
Yeah.
Which is a topic that we've discussed
before. As well, and I'm sure it'll come up again.
It has no choice. There's no choice. We have to discuss it one way or the other because it's part of the community.
Yeah.
And, you know, we love cosplay for its imperfections, and we hate cosplay because of its imperfections.
Yeah.
But the reason we keep doing it is because of the people that we meet, and because we get to dress up as characters that we've always wanted to dress up as.
And it's not all bad. There are bad aspects, as there are with anything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any community you're a part of, there's going to be your ups, there's going to be your peaks and valleys.
As long as we're not feeding into those things, and we are actively, like we are, talking about them and trying to, in our own ways, make positive impacts on our community, that's what's important.
Where are we? Jason, can we talk about being not... Oh, yeah, that's a thing. Can we talk about being not enough for cosplay? As someone who isn't fully white but looks like he's been bleached, I've come across some interesting stuff.
Hold on, I'm like not following you talk, Vamp.
Yeah, can we talk about not being black, white, Italian, Irish?
Yeah, which we've talked about before to some extent.
To some degree.
Yeah, to some degree. You can cosplay whoever you want as long as you are not doing
it offensively.
Blackface, yellowface, etc. The any sort of cultural appropriation, like, don't do it.
If you see a black cosplayer cosplaying as someone that's traditionally or written to be white, and you complain about it, no.
Daisha says, yes, Jason, as someone who has dark skin and does not match the character she cosplays. Yeah, and that's like something that it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating to see that. You'll see so many, particularly it gets so bad on the internet because like you'll see a picture of like a beautiful, like let's say you see a picture of a beautiful African-American woman cosplaying Cinderella or cosplaying whatever, and it could be the most spot on cosplay ever. And you always have that one terrible commenter that's like,
she's not supposed
to be black. Yeah, and it's like, that's not the point, asshole.
You know, one of the things that I hate people using as an excuse, and this is specifically, we can definitely make an entire episode on this, but when it comes to people saying, oh, I'm just critiquing. No, you're not critiquing. And
nobody asked. And also nobody asked for your critique. No, this wasn't an open forum.
You know, speaking of should I quit cosplay and whatnot, the hecklers that some cosplayers it can really tear a person down.
That is a whole other, like, situation. It's, like, that's such a terrible... I have been very lucky in my experience of not getting too many terrible hecklers. But there are some people that I know that get it literally every day and nonstop over body image, over skin color, over... you name it, they've been criticized about it. And, like, that's just not what it's about. That's also indicating that, like, that cosplay is for someone else and not for themselves.
There's also a level of sensitivity that some people just... And it's like, oh, well, they need to grow a thicker skin. No, you just need to know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
There's a humongous difference, and we've discussed this before, but there's a humongous difference. Thank you, Mother Nature. I agree with
I don't know if you guys can hear the lightning going on. The thunder going on. I can see the lightning, but hear the thunder happening. Hopefully we don't lose power.
One can only.
Please.
Please. Let's not get crazy here, MN. Let's not get crazy here, MN.
Let's calm down.
Train of thought.
I'm sorry.
There's a difference between someone saying, you're not the right color for that character, and you could have maybe taken it a little bit more in the bodice. You could have maybe added a little bit more frills to the epaulets.
Like, you cannot change your skin color. That's it. You can't change your skin color. It's not a thing. Even if you are putting on blackface, which you should never do, that's not changing your skin color. That is being an asshole. And so we should just give up on that dream. Give up on that dream. Let that one go. And
let it fly.
Let it go. And embrace yourself. And for the record, I know. And for the record, this is a really interesting comment from Lewis too. And I've never really thought about this before, but I completely agree that that's very annoying. I hate that just as much as when they refer to someone black or another skin tone as the black version of that. Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, that infuriates me. Totally infuriates me. Yeah, the black version of Cinderella. No, it's just Cinderella. Calm down. Was Cinderella dependent on her skin tone? Calm down.
And not to take away from the race aspect of it, but it also has a lot to do with gender.
Oh, I was going to say the same thing. The male version of
a certain character, the female version of certain. Just say gender swapped or gender bent or
whatever.
Just people are like, oh, would you rather? Specifically me, this is a case by case basis.
Yeah.
But when people say, oh, would you much rather be called like Catwoman or Catman? I'm like, just call me Catwoman.
That's it.
Just call me Catwoman. It's simple, easy enough.
If I call it, let's say that I cosplayed Superman. And I didn't mean to be Supergirl. And I then called it Supergirl on my own. Then that's appropriate to then call that a Supergirl cosplay or whatever.
Exactly.
That's not a great example because or like a female Batman. If I said Batwoman, then it's. We can all just be a little bit more respectful.
It's case by case. It's
just
case by case basis. But just, we've said it 1,000,001 times and we'll continue to be kind to one another. Respect the people that you're surrounding yourself with.
Yeah.
Respect other cosplayers.
Yeah.
Like, this should not be difficult. This is kindergarten stuff, guys.
It really is. It's annoying.
And this is why some people quit cosplay.
Yeah. And you know what? And like, those are valid reasons. Whatever your reason is, it can be valid for yourself for sure. But also, I would recommend to people that are trying to quit cosplay or thinking about quitting cosplay, really reflecting on what those reasons are, and if they are reasons that are within your control, or if they are reasons that are not in your control and you don't want to deal with. Like, it's different for everybody.
We need to understand one thing first and foremost.
Yeah.
Cosplay is not the mafia. It's not a once you're in, you're in situation.
No, you can take breaks whenever you want.
You can take breaks as often as you like.
Yep.
You can take time for yourself as often as you like. There's no right or wrong way to cosplay.
Yeah.
As we've stated in a number of other videos.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Comments.
I do want to read Jason's really quick because it's relevant to what we were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Eric Scott Smith and I were Guy Mora and Nebrola respectively. And if you decided to call yourselves that, then that's fair game.
That's perfect.
Then that's fair game.
That's
Rock
perfect.
on.
Keep at it.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
Nate
says, yeah.
I get those comments all the time. I have featured tons of POC cosplayers as traditionally white characters and seen those terrible comments. Quickest way to get blocked. And yeah,
and
accurate.
For the record, so much respect to you, like Nate, for not letting that slow you down on featuring those cosplayers. Because I have noticed from a ton of pages before that they feature a couple of POC cosplayers, and then they get hateful comments and they decide not to feature those people before, and that's really shitty. Just because you got some hateful comments from some assholes.
The internet is definitely a vicious beast when it comes to hecklers and commenters and critiquers and all that fun stuff. And sometimes you just have to be like Nate, rise above it and say, you are no longer welcome on this page. Bye.
Yep, totally.
Bye.
Totally.
Adios.
But much respect to Nate for not letting like that stop you from doing that sort of thing, because I've seen it happen before, and like it's just super unfortunate that is like something that people then like take it out on other cosplayers for something that they cannot control or like shouldn't even be an aspect of the conversation.
Agreed.
Like, it's just stupid.
I want to read some more comments.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do the thing here, and where are we? I hate that. Walter, as far as the physical aspect of cosplay goes, it's the one thing that's keeping me motivated to work out lately. I mean, body image is definitely something that that can motivate cosplay is something that can definitely motivate a person to get into better shape.
Yeah.
Eric says we all need to learn to not value everyone's opinion. Everyone has an opinion, but like assholes. Everyone has an asshole, but that doesn't mean But it doesn't. Thank you. It's been a long day. But it doesn't mean you have to care. It doesn't mean they're qualified to tell you anything.
Yep. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business.
Thank you for taking my words. Thank you so much for taking my words.
That's it.
People's opinions of you ain't your business.
Nope. As long as you haven't done anything to directly and particularly offend them, None of your business.
Caitlin says, it kills me when my one friend feels like she can't cosplay white characters. She's amazing, and it's heartbreaking to see her be terrified of how people will react. And
that's a valid concern.
That's a valid concern.
And it's shitty that that's a valid concern. It's terrible that that is a that makes me so sad. It just makes me so... Because, like, obviously, and this is another conversation, but, like, obviously, there is so much to be said about we need more representation of movies, TV shows, comics. Across the board, we need more representation. And so the idea that, like, a bunch of white people, I'm just going to generalize and say a bunch of white people would get really upset at a person of a different skin tone for, like, cosplaying one of our characters where we have so many characters. So stupid. One
thing that always kills me was the comments that were made about Black Panther being the #1 movie in America. You have seen a special kind of imbecile when that happened.
Yep, truly.
But that's...
And people getting upset that the African American community was so excited and like just so as pumped as they were about this movie. Of course they were. Like, of course they were. I was on behalf. Like, that's like, white people, man. Some of us.
White people.
We got work to do.
We
got work to do.
Molly says, yes. I have had cosplayers apologize to me for being too big to not right when I shoot with them.
Yep, totally. We have had an issue with a couple of members of my Sailor Moon group getting hate because they don't match people's preferences and perceptions. Shut the fuck up. It's just so stupid. Like, I'm so done with it. Amazing cosplayers, amazing cosplays, amazing people, and they're like,
there are so many talented people out there that just don't want to do it because they're afraid of the comments they're going to get.
Yeah. Guess what? Also, a lot of those characters, especially when we're talking about anime characters, just real quick, a lot of those body types are not real people.
They don't exist.
They are, in fact, not real people. We can think about them the same way we think about Barbie. Not real people. This is me shaking you into understanding.
Walter says, it pisses me off when people criticize cosplay due to skin color. For example, there was an amazing Spider-Man cosplayer who was black, and whenever people see that he's black, they're Naquan.
Yeah, totally.
He gets shit on constantly because it's like, Spider-Man's not black, Spider-Man's not black. Who the fuck cares?
Listen, my Spider-Man is Donald Glover, so I don't know what you're talking about. Except I love Tom Holland desperately. He is a sweet baby angel that I need to nurture.
Same though.
Literally
Same
zero Infinity War spoilers, but he was my favorite part of that movie. I just love.
We adore Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, please.
I wish he wore a better wig for when he lip-synced Rihanna's Umbrella.
I know, but oh my gosh.
He rocked it regardless. Like, don't get me wrong. But
zero, oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't talk about him any longer. I'll get to... But also Donald Glover. Like, also my Spider-Man forever.
Yeah.
And I just want to read this comment from Molly. I've had cosplayers apologize. Oh, no, the other one. Sorry. I know a few photographers
who won't shoot with people who don't fit their aesthetic.
And I've seen that before, and that is bullshit.
We talked about that a while ago.
Yes, we did.
If you're a photographer and you're going to say, I won't shoot with this person because of X, Y, and Z, unless you've heard shit about them where you know that they're going to be a diva and they're going to demand X, Y, and Z from you, and you're going to do it for a reason that is your own aesthetic?
Bye.
No.
Done with you.
Nope.
Bye. I don't really want to make it down.
It's already May. We're not going to go into it.
I just want to tell you that I had enough.
Oh, it might sound
crazy, but it ain't no lie. Bye. Okay, so there's a young lady
who I've featured quite often who does an incredible Cinderella and Zatanna. Slightly larger in size, but absolutely the best of those two cosplays I've ever seen.
That's what I'm saying.
What we're talking about, guys, people want to stop doing what they enjoy doing because of the comments that they've gotten based off of things they can't change about themselves.
And why should they? Why should they change them? It is so not important to the character.
Please be good to one another. There's so much negativity in the world today that being an asshole to someone for something that they can't control. Yeah. And they're enjoying what they're doing.
And it's not something, and treating it also like honestly, it's something they should be ashamed of.
We're talking about it. I want to say that the internet comments are definitely one of the biggest catalysts for people wanting to leave cosplay.
Oh, totally.
And wanting to stop doing it.
And like, it's one of those things where like you see a featured cosplayer again, and like no matter what, you're gonna see, like, whenever there's a cosplay that's been shared like thousands upon thousands of times, I like am afraid to look at the comment section.
I don't look at the comment section.
Yeah, because I know it'll enrage me. Because there is always gonna be those assholes.
One thing.
Yes.
There's a cosplayer by the name of Dominique Sky.
Right. Yep.
She posts videos constantly of her and her adorable daughter. Mm-hmm. The comments that she gets about the sexualization of her child disgust me.
What?
Disgust me.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What are they even saying? What do they mean?
There are people that will call Dominique slut, whore, tramp. There are people that will say, you're sexualizing your daughter. You're disgusting. You should not be putting her in those costumes.
How is she sexualizing her daughter?
She's putting her daughter in accurate cosplays. That's not the problem that you should be focused on. You should be focused on the artists illustrating them.
Yeah. So stupid. I just hate people. Wonderful.
I don't understand where people get it in their heads that they can just make these broad statements and feel like they're not going to get shit for it.
Yeah. And then it's just like you see the people, anytime that anybody comments back to those people, it's always just like an endless cycle of hate and anger and all this other stuff.
When a person gets to hide behind a computer screen, they become a different person.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. They think they don't remember that you are a person and you are just another thing that they're commenting on in their long day of doing whatever the fuck. It's so dumb.
Jason actually made a very good comment. Mm-hmm. Like Death says, it takes just as much energy to be nice as it does to be creepy.
Yep. Yeah. Ah, dear Lord.
Oh, Lord and Taylor. We're at
an hour.
We're at the hour and 4-minute mark, kids.
Oh, and we've talked about a lot.
We've discussed a lot this episode.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for the comments.
Thank you so much for commenting, guys.
Definitely. Some really, really good discussions. And
that's what we're doing.
Want to do that.
We're starting conversations. We're putting it out there into the ether and making sure that people are, being good to one another.
We don't want people to be afraid of having these conversations. We don't know why it's so taboo to like actually talk about these things, and like neither one of us is afraid of having the conversation, and so we fine with live streaming it. If it helps any of you and makes you feel like there are other people that are feeling the same way you are, great. Amazing.
Please, one of the things that we constantly say is if you feel that we are saying something out of turn,
please let us know.
Don't be afraid to let us know.
Yep.
Don't be afraid to message us privately.
Oh,
saying,
absolutely.
Hey, what you said was kind of sort of
Yeah, please.
We will be receptive to you. We've actually gotten a couple of people that are very interested in being on the show, and we're still working on it.
Guys,
but
May is the month of death.
Please understand that we do both have lives, and we're not tethered. I mean, I am technically, but we're both not tethered to Catt and Kristen.
Nope.
And
my personal message inbox right now is overflowing. I have had no time for the last 2 weeks, no time at all. I've been working 12-hour days. It has been outrageous. So right now, just
It's been crazy.
It's been a time.
The month of May is crazy for the both of us.
Yeah.
And we do have lives outside of this little box.
What is it? The Isles of May? The Ides of May?
Ides of May.
Ides of May.
No, it's the Ides of March.
The Ides of March, you're right. Well, I knew it sounded too good to be true. I knew it sounded... It's it.
But this is our reality. Like,
Yeah.
we would love for Catt and Kristen to be our bread and butter, but it is not as of right now.
Yeah.
So we have to...
Totally.
Go out into the world and make our way.
Yeah.
One day, Catt and Kristen will be our bread and butter.
Yes.
But until that time comes, and please, the one thing that we would love for people to do: share the videos.
Yes, please.
Reach out to conventions saying you want us to guest there.
Mm-hmm. Don't
be afraid to reach out to us and say, "Hey, here's a convention that you should probably try and get to."
Yeah.
We can only do so much work, guys.
It's just a lot at the moment. We are hoping, like, very seriously, we're hoping that June and July will be much more smooth. But right now we got real life going on, and believe me when we say we miss when we don't do these.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
This is a priority for both of us, but we do both have to take our lives and
we have to take responsibility for our own lives.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
What else did I want to say on the subject? One of the things that may end up happening in the near future is that we won't be live on Tuesdays at 7. We may do a different day,
Yeah.
but you will always be notified of it the day of. Now that we have that handy little
we got a little
we have a little title picture thing that we can share around saying, "Watch us tonight, we're live, we're live." We will try to keep it as consistently to Tuesday at 7 o'clock as possible because obvi.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just be patient with us.
That's it, please.
We've made it to 30 episodes, guys.
Y'all, we did it. We did it. Okay, let's see really quick. Where is my Catt and Kristen mug and t-shirt?
On its way.
Yeah, Kristen will, but very seriously, June and July when I return to being Kristen, when Kristen, Return of the Kristen, new Kristen.
Revenge of the Cat.
Revenge of the Cat.
Revenge of the Cat.
A new Kristen.
A new Kristen.
Kristen Strikes Back. Kristen Awakens. Oh, this could go on for a long time. I actually would love to design, if there is any phrase or anything in particular, like besides our logo that you would love to see on a t-shirt, would love to see on a mug, like please let us know of those things.
The comment section is great, but sometimes if you want to just, put it out there into the ether by messaging either one of us, that would be
or
just as
the page.
preferred as the comment section would be.
Totally. Though at the moment, probably not me because, as I said earlier, I can't be held accountable for any of my Facebook messages at the moment.
Agreed, seconded, and thirded.
I just can't. I'm just being honest. I just can't. Know yourself. Know yourself.
Know your limitations.
Grab your tea.
Grab your tea.
Yep.
Nate says, "Can I get them personally?" Yes.
Yes.
I'll be in a onesie just for you.
That's same. I mean, if that's the preference. I mean, like, sure, yes.
The delivery options.
Can I share something with the whole audience right now?
Here we go.
So, did anybody know? Quick question.
There she goes.
Quick you. Did anybody know, real quick, that Kigurumi makes these? It is a neck pillow, guys. It's a neck pillow. Did anyone know? Because I'm just here to spread the good Lord's word. And if this isn't God sent, I don't know what is. It's so comfortable. Look, guys, wait, it attaches.
There's a snap.
It like starts off as like, oh, that's just a neck thing, to goodbye.
This is Kristen. She's a 10, not a 10.
You remember it. Just wanted to let you know. Kigurumi.com, I think. Not sponsored, but hey.
Well, one day it may very well happen.
Look, or you could, it looks like it's hugging you.
And this is my co-host, ladies and gentlemen.
Wonderful.
This
25-year-old.
is my co-star.
Anyway, so 10 out of 10. Yeah, I would put 10 out of 10 on a mug. If we had like a 10 out of 10 mug and then one of your phrases, I'm trying to think, what would it be?
Too many.
Yeah, but one that like describes you, sort of deal.
Guys, Bueller?
Bueller? Leave a comment. Let us know.
Leave a comment. What is one of your personal Tomcat phrases that you would want to see on a mug?
Or Catt and Kristen phrases.
Or a Catt and Kristen phrase.
Anything. Let us know. Whoop whoop. Who's our cosplayer of the week? We didn't talk about it beforehand.
Who was our cosplayer of the week last week? Was
it Sharon?
Sharon.
I believe it was Sharon.
I need to find out. This is the level of professionalism you are paying for,
This is me vamping. Remember when I was talking about the slaw? Remember when I was talking about the slaw?
Just vamp.
And vamp. And vamp. Madonna. Madonna. Madonna.
Or
Madonna.
Twylar.
Twylar.
Yeah, last week was Sharon Rose.
Mm-hmm.
And
this week,
drum roll please.
I can't hit the table that much, it shakes the mic. Yep. Weather?
Weather. I'm trying to think of all that. This is terrible.
Terrible.
This is so inappropriate.
This is so bad.
This is so awful. I'm deceased.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody that comes off of the top of my head, but now I'm getting worried that I don't. We should feature some photographers in the future. You're right, Molly. We should feature some photographers.
Should we do that today?
Yes, I'm featuring Molly. Done. Nope. Sold. Congratulations, Molly. Because actually,
thank you, Molly.
Okay, no, actually, done. Sold. So you can find Molly. Hold on. I'm going to confirm her handles because I know her personally. So I also know her personal. Molly, drop your handles in the comment section. No, but really, I'm going to show you her work. She's the one who...
There's Eric again with weather.
Weather? Wait, hold on. I'm going to show you her work right now. She's the one who took these amazing photos of me.
Oh, Fabu.
An amazing, incredible photographer. Truly. She goes by... Hold on. Because I think that this is her. I don't think that this is her. Wait, which is your business account, Molly?
Bueller. You have to remember there's like a 10-second differential between.
Oh,
over
and now
here
boyfriend's
and
calling. This has gone off the rails. No, but actually, that's a great idea.
This is how all episodes should end.
We should feature photographers.
Yes.
So 100%
Agreed.
featuring
Accurate.
Molly. Molly's an incredible photographer, and truly, she does not have enough of a cosplay following, and her cosplay photos are unreal. If you guys go to my Facebook page, my profile photo is a picture that she took. She's just like unreal. It is Adoylible. She's Adoylible. Her last name used to be Doyle. She's married now. Sorry. Weather. I don't know if I was supposed to reveal that. I'm so sorry, Molly. But you're commenting, so they would have seen anyway. But truly, her account is so good. She takes so many amazing, also just like other incredible photos too, like creative shoots and all that sort of stuff. So if you're in more of like the Virginia, DC, all that sort of area, like unreal photographer. She's so good.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first ever photographer of the week is Adoylible.
Adoylible, Molly. Yay, this makes my heart so happy.
Episode 30 is our photographer of the week.
Beautiful.
So I think maybe that's something that we'll do.
That we should incorporate some of the time.
Every week we'll try and do, like maybe split the diff. One every other week.
Totally, yes.
I'm a fan of that.
That would be great. Molly, you just revolutionized. Revolution weather. Amazing.
Revolutionizing Catt and Kristen one episode at a time. You are schwitzing, my dear.
I'm sweating now. Okay, well, this went a little off the rails at the end, but, we're adorable, and she's Adoylible.
And she is Adoylible.
So here we are. Thank you all so much for watching.
So much for watching.
Thank you so much. Be sure to check out, if you want to check out Molly's work, we will have a feature of her page.
Yes. Absolutely.
Amazing. Great.
Oh, I figured out I figured out the quote for me.
Oh, what is the quote for you?
Ciao, meow for now, guys.
Yes! Mumbai! Wait, we didn't do any plugs. We did not do our self-promotion. If you want to follow this, you can follow us on Instagram at Catt and Kristen. You can follow Weather. You can... What's happening? happening? Oh my gosh. I'm like, my face is so red. It's so red. You can follow this Facebook page, share it with your friends. If you want to find Tom, you can follow at the.tom.cat on Instagram. He's on Twitter somewhere. Just honestly search the internet. You'll find them. It'll be great. You're gonna love it.
Yep.
Shut up, Kristen, for me. Now, chow meow for now, guys.
Mumbai, Dubai, bye.
I have to awkwardly reach over you now to end this. This has gotten, there's a notification. Bye.
Bye.